I recently had the opportunity to join Will Hooley and the MLR for their watch-along for Miami Sharks versus Old Glory DC, which was a race for a playoff spot. This watch-along included a lot of rugby big names, whether it was ex-players, current players, and YouTube personalities, and we all just got on there and chopped it up for a little bit. Will Hooley was the host, and I had an exceptional time being a part of that broadcast. Here is the clip from my segment on that stream, and this all came to fruition because of you and your incredible support always, Qrew. All of your love, positivity, feedback, and friendship has helped me and helped QSN grow into this world of rugby, and I just have to give all love and thanks to you because we are here because of you. I am here because of you, and this is us building this together. I count QSN as my family. I count you as my family, and all of these opportunities are a byproduct of what we're creating together by you being here, watching my videos, supporting, and the friendship that we've continued to build. And I'm excited to show you this interview segment. Thank you again for being here, and let's check this one out, Qrew. Let's go.
Now look, Jeff from QSN, just hold fire a little bit, buddy.
I got you.
Because Miami is pushing this slowly towards a potential try.
Did he get it?
They've knocked it on again. No. What have you made of this game so far? I know you've been watching.
Yeah.
It's pretty insane at the moment. It's pretty tight and it's sweaty.
Yeah, you said it perfectly, man. The humidity is definitely having an effect on the game. And like you said, the ball is super slippery, and how the man Jacob said it, the ball is buttery, right?
And, who uses that word, buttery? I mean, I might with my English accent. You know, like these driving malls. We'll come to you in a minute about how you found rugby, but what impresses you with like these big guys, line outs, scrums? As the referee's going to have a little word with DC here as well. But like, what impresses you with this facet of the game?
Well, you know what really impresses me as I've studied the game more and more is the amount of pressure and tension that these players are under at a given time, especially like in a scrum. Because when I think of like my background is playing college football, and we think I had to push a sled, and like so pushing a mechanical sled it's tough enough, but when you're pushing a human body and they're pushing against you, just the amount of pressure on your calves, your Achilles and quads and like hammies, I feel like my body would just fall apart and shatter. So for these men to have that amount of weight on their neck at this time, that's what really blows my mind about the strength of these men and being able to hold it for that time under tension. So it's impressive to me.
Now, what I love about you is that you are so well, you illustrate your passion. That's how I would say it. You watch rugby, go on your channel, you literally do this. You kind of watch rugby games and react to it, as we are kind of doing now, as much as also just grabbing people on, telling their stories a little bit. But as DC get a big penalty there, so Miami just coughed up a little bit of territory, could have maybe used that and try to get some points. But like, what have you made of this great game, rugby? Here in Major League Rugby, but just in general, as you found this game?
You know, I've absolutely been loving it. It's completely different from what I'm used to with American football. And I talk about it from that respect where these men are gladiators. They go against each other head to head on the field. As you know, you played the game at the highest level. But once the game is over, you all shake hands. The brotherhood is solid, the camaraderie, and you cheer each other on. I think that's something that is so enlightening and great to see because it shows the unity within rugby and the community just comes together as a collective and supports one another. I think that's just so beautiful about the sport, and it goes to principles in life, right? So there's a lot of characteristics that you can carry over from rugby into every aspect of your life. So I think that's what I've really enjoyed about rugby the most is, you know, the personal development and characteristics that are learned in the game of rugby. And there's just the respect factor as well.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, man. Respecting your opposition, respecting the referee. We try. Not all the time we get it right, but we try. Connor Buckby lines up this monster kick in the air. Beautiful. Don't know how that ends up back in DC's hands. What have you made of this game, though, so far? It's still tight. There's still a lot to play for with 28 minutes left.
Yeah, honestly, it's caught me by surprise. I was thinking DC was going to really pull away with this game. I felt like they were like the tougher, more consistent side over the season. Miami really surprised me. They came out hot and they've kept the foot on the pedal and they've really played a solid game. I think they're used to the conditions, like you said, of the sloppier weather, where it's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
that thick humidity out there in Florida. So they've been able to weather the storm a little bit with the elements. So that's what's been surprising to me about this game. Miami is they're looking stronger than I've seen them in the past.
Yeah, no, well, it's their first year, man, in the league. You know,
Yeah.
it's pretty impressive. They're only going to get better as they've also got some brilliant players. I've already mentioned the one of the
Hmm.
try scorers, Ardal, the number 8. They got Cabelli at 9, Orlando. Those guys are 2 Argentinian internationals. They got plenty of other experiences. Now they move out to the width. Lovely to
Beautiful.
see. Rick Rose, just so you know, Jeff, has come through Major League Rugby draft. So he's
Yeah.
MLR, recently college athlete. He's wearing the red scrum hat, number 4 for Miami.
Where did he
Oh,
play?
that's
Where did
good.
he play his college ball at?
I think Big Rick was at St. Bonaventure, if I'm right.
Okay.
Now, I might have got that completely wrong, and I apologize to anyone who I've got that wrong too. But he was, he's just a big human being, and he's got lovely hands. I'm really excited about his future. But hey, DC there, getting a good push, a good little counter attack and oh, I think Shabazz has done his hamstring.
It's like, it looks like, oh, he did pull his hammy. It looks like DC, they have to start taking a little bit more chances now, especially with, they're close to the 20 minutes left in the game mark. What do we have?
Yeah,
27, 26 minutes left. If from your experience, I want to know, Will, like, how would you manage the game? Because I know you played a team, you're super intelligent and you have to structure your team. How would you start managing the game as an athlete and a player in these moments where you're down 10?
It's hard because also what you're doing is you're managing the energy levels when you're competing in such either heat and humidity, particularly with your big forwards. Like, you can't ask them to keep carrying and keep going into contact when the conditions are tough like they are tonight. So you got to try and put the ball in front of them. And what I mean by that is, like, you do have to try and kick and find space. You do have to try and kick to compete and try and win the territory game, to also conserve the energy of your team. So even though you're behind on the scoreboard, what DC end up doing is they get these occasions where they build enough pressure inside the Miami half, and then that's when they can strike. They did a counter attack, they got a counter ruck, they got a penalty, and that's how you just march your way up the pitch. So they have to play rugby in the right areas, regardless what the score is, especially when it's a tight game like this. And then it's just about hitting your basics. Like, this line out, DC, in previous games has been really good. Tonight has struggled. It's struggled again.
Mm-hmm.
So that is, wow. Miami, I think, have just dropped it.
Dang, so they have the advantage.
The ball is butter.
That's that's my favorite term right there of all. Yeah, it looks like it's a lot of mishandling.
There is indeed. But does that make sense, Jeff? Like, the fact is, like, you're trying to conserve energy when the conditions are tough, and actually playing not too much rugby is beneficial, particularly for the big guys. But you also want to make sure your kicking's on the money. As we see this line out, Ben Bonasso has been very good today, number 6 for Miami.
That's strong.
So, but then look at that for a mistake. And that is a bad mistake from Ardal.
Yeah, especially when you're up, you have the advantage in the game like this. And DC, like what I've seen from this season, they're a tough team, so you never want to give them the chance to get back into the game, especially so close to their try zone. So it's who collapsed it right there.
Oh no, still going.
What?
No.
So question there. His elbow hit the ground. Wouldn't that be a penalty because of calling collapsing the scrum in that moment?
Yes, there has to be an element of making sure that you hold solid at the scrum. So if someone rolls their shoulder and hits the deck first, almost, then that would be a penalty. It's almost like under the pressure, they've buckled first, putting it really simply like that. I'm not going to pretend, by the way, Jeff, that I'm a scrum expert.
Yeah.
I did not put myself in those dark areas. I can tell you that when I was playing. But yeah, it's such a key component because, as you see, it's like a reset to the game, the scrum. So this for DC, they've got an opportunity. They would have made a play and organized this so that they try and play off this platform. So we'll see how they can do this. That's a pretty stable.
Yeah,
interesting. So that is the bind. So in the end, so what the referee has judged, that number 1 in the blue for DC, his hand, he actually pulled down a Miami prop. So he ended
Okay.
up having to. So it's actually like you're not allowed to do that. You can't just pull someone down like that. So that's
Yeah.
why a penalty to Miami is they exit away. I'm interested for you, Jeff. Like, is rugby really complicated? Is there any ways that you kind of feel like, I just wish it was simpler?
In some respects, yes. I would say there's more laws to the game that I'm trying to understand. Like as I've gotten to early into this game, like especially catching a ball in the try zone and in American football, it's like a touchback. But understanding like how does that come out to be like a 5 meter scrum or 22 meter scrum? Understanding those
Yes.
intricacies of the game have been a little bit complicated to me at times. But
Right.
my community has been done a fantastic job because they have so much experience and knowledge of watching the
Yeah.
game. But I do find that the laws are definitely more harder to understand, especially from a newer perspective when it comes to scrumming and those aspects of the game. Like, how's a penalty awarded in this situation and not in others? And so it
Yes.
seems
Understood.
like there may not be some consistencies in the calls. And so I just try to understand that a little bit more. I would say that's probably the hardest part of understanding for me coming in the game when I first joined in the rugby world.
And you know what, Jeff? And don't you worry. Sometimes I don't even understand. So don't you worry, my man.
Hey,
You're not alone. You're not
I
alone. And I love what you're doing. As I said at the beginning, QSN, your rugby content that you're building with you're over 185,000 subscribers. So keep doing what you're doing, man. I really do appreciate that. As Miami are going to continue to try and just exit away. So what I was explaining earlier, like there is a lot of kicking involved.
yeah,
Oh, now
ooh, that's a rough one.
that's an issue. You can't take someone out in the air. So did you see how like as
Yeah.
soon as you're a catcher and you get in the air and someone takes you out in the air, then you're not allowed to do that. That's why it's a
Yeah.
penalty to DC.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Because was he pushed into him, and would it, even though he's pushed into him, does it still award a penalty on that one, or is it just one of
Now,
those dynamic plays that are called?
now that would be case at the time. I couldn't. I didn't actually quite. I almost want to see a replay as now some substitutes come on for DC. They are going to need something to get back into this game in the last sort of 20 minutes or so. But yeah, you gotta. You can't be pushing players into people. Absolutely not. But that
Yeah,
was very obviously, I think, as the referees just said, a dangerous tackle. Guy was in the air. You can't take him out. Even though we're very much a contact sport, Jeff, like we do have rules that hopefully protect players. Like
yeah,
we're here to protect players. As Jason Robinson gets a nice
that was
kick
very nice kick.
into this area.
A huge advantage right there. A lot of meters gained.
A lot of meters gained, indeed, my man, indeed. So, what's your as we now just wait? Like, what's your go with rugby? Like, what do you want to do with your sort of audience and growing this game?
Yeah, so I started off initially doing the reaction content as a one-off. Man, I was working with part of my team. My team's based in Wales, and when Louis Rees Zammit
Wow.
made the transition to the
Yes.
NFL from rugby to football, he wanted to get my thought process on it. So it was a one-off video. I thought, but it turned into something bigger. And now that I've been in the world of rugby and just continue to grow and fall in love with the game, I just want to continue to give rugby the platform that it deserves and an understanding to the American market. Because with the World Cup coming here in 2031, I feel it's going to be a disservice to the world of rugby if we're not able to give it the platform and attention and recognition that it deserves. Because these are incredible athletes, right? And they deserve to be well compensated and have the attention like when the Olympics are coming here to have that type of presence. So I want to be able to bring it to the US market. And by the time the 21-31 World Cup comes, everybody's hungry, passionate, and we have sold out stadiums and just get to experience the beauty and the culture of rugby and to just give it the appreciation it deserves from the top level all the way down. So that's my goal within
Love it.
rugby, and just to give back, because rugby has given me so much in this short period of time, and I want to do anything
Awesome.
I can to support the world of rugby.
I do, honestly, what you're doing is fantastic. Honestly, the content you're creating, go and check Jeff out. It's funny as hell. Like some of your reactions, as you say, an American just watching the sport. We're trying to react as well to. It's a lot of kicking jewels going on. Like I can literally, as I say, it's trying to get the territory game. So again, Jason Robinson, he's going for these high contestable kicks
Hmm.
because if you can win, that's a great take. But if he drops that, then that's broken ball, and that's better to attack off in conditions like this. You almost want to play off unstructured play, and you get
Okay.
that from. That's why you get that sort of kick in the air to compete. So that's why you'll see it a lot. Again, Videa, the number 10 for Miami, he puts us up in the air.
And he's just
Again, a
trying
good
to,
take. So it's almost like who's going to make that first mistake at the moment in this kicking
yeah.
duel.
And it's like that DuPont law in a sense. They're going back and forth in a sense
Yes.
and just trying to create that advantage. Oh, good.
Oh, there we go. Nearly a little work. Yes, you're totally right, by the way. Miami now. Oh, they've slowed it right down.
Yeah.
There's big Rick
It's a
Rose.
big man right there.
He is. That's the draftee. Doing really well this season in his first year with MLR. As are Miami as they come on the attack now down the far edge. Great crowd as well in Fort Lauderdale. They seem to have just kept coming in since the beginning of the game.
Exceptional turnout. And that's what I really love about Major League Rugby going to Seattle. The turnout and the fan base is exceptional. And MLR is doing an incredible job. So I have to salute everything that you're doing and the entire team. And I just thank you for allowing me and welcoming me on your show, man. You're doing an exceptional job.
Awesome.
And, you know, I do anything I can to support you and MLR because you all are just bringing incredible value to this game. And I do anything I can to support you. So incredible job, boss.
Oh man, I love the fact you said that. Thank you so much. And Jeff, thank you so much for joining us. I think this is a good opportunity now for you to jump out, and we're going to bring in, we got 2 more guests remaining, but Jeff from QSN, thank you so much for joining us on the watch along.
All right, thank you so much, Will. I appreciate you, man. Keep up the amazing work, and we'll catch up soon, all right?
Thanks, my man. Take care.
Right, take care, boss. I really hope that you enjoyed my segment on there, and I just did my best to engage and be a part of the community and really start understanding the game, especially from Will, who played at the highest level within rugby, and understanding the mindset of what happens during a set piece, being down by 10 points with 57 minutes left in the match, and just really trying to understand the mindset that happens on the field as you're living and experiencing that moment. And I just have to give a massive shout out to Will Hooley for allowing me to be on the broadcast and asking me to be on the broadcast. It was a lot of fun. And I also have to give a shout out to the man behind the scenes, Josh, who was coordinating all of the stream and bringing people in and out of the stream, dealing with the audio and the broadcast. He did an exceptional job, a one-man team making it happen for the Rugby Network. And it was just exceptional connecting with Will and Josh. Both are fantastic. If you want to see the full live stream, the link is going to be in the descriptions. It's all the links to MLR and their channel and to that game specifically for the Miami Sharks versus Old Glory DC. And I just have to give you again, Qrew, a massive shout out and all the love and appreciation for your continued support, love, positivity, and sharing in this journey with me. I'm only here because of you. QSN is only here because of you. And we're growing this together as a crew, as a family, as a rugby community that has so much love, passion, and interest in the game. I've learned so much and continue to evolve every single day because of your incredible feedback, your commentary, our conversations that we have on Discord, on YouTube, wherever we connect online. I thank you so much for being here and alongside with me. And I'm going to continue to do my best to grow, learn, evolve, and become more knowledgeable in this sport and give it the platform that it deserves. So by the time that it comes here to America in 2031, it is recognized, appreciated, and has the fandom and anticipation that I feel that it deserves, and that these rugby athletes and the entire rugby community gets the love, appreciation, and respect that it deserves. Such an incredible culture and community that rugby has shown me. It has just been a breath of fresh air. It's been honestly the honor of my life to be in this rugby world and connecting here with you. So I thank you so much for your continued love, appreciation, support, and we're going to continue to grow together, Qrew. This is just one of the opportunities, and we're going to continue to evolve. And I hope that we get to meet in person one of these days at a match when I'm traveling around the world, whether you come here to the US or I travel to your country. It's going to happen. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you always for being here, and always remember to stay laser focused on your dreams and your vision, and remember that you're in control. I love you, Qrew. Peace.